Nah, Y'all don't know me yet. It's okay. Y'all don't know me yet. Listen. Listen to this. I'm not up here to be cool. This ain't about lifestyle right now. This is about you in the back trying to figure out how to get to the front. This is about you who wants more for your kids trying to get to this front row where they're living that lifestyle. If that's you in the back, stand up right now and say the time is now. Some things gonna change after the day in 5 links, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, the title of my training is The Time Is Now. And some of y'all are just like me, just like where I was when I started. You can sit down, I'm gonna scream later. And some of you were just like I was when I started this deal. And the only problem is, you're not ready to admit it yet. It takes a big, big person to be that humble to recognize where you are right now and realize where you need to go. I want to talk to everybody out here today. Maybe you're an IMR in the back. Maybe you're a platinum in the front who still got a piece of you in you that you still want more. You're still hungry. Anybody in the front row still hungry? I know it. I know it. It's my family. So guys, I want to tell you a little bit about me because obviously a lot of you know me because of my beautiful wife, Tashina. And I'm not ashamed of that fact. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest to everybody, that's the greatest accomplishment of my life, is to marry a beautiful, intelligent woman who supports me like that. I just want to recognize my wife, Tashina Anderson, right there. Y'all better give it up for the first diamond. But it wasn't always that sweet for us right now. I'm gonna talk to you real quick. For me, I grew up in East Baltimore, Maryland. You know about the Freddie Gray case. You know about hundreds of thousands of people with heroin addictions in my city. You know about poverty spread throughout the city. You know where I come from. I wanted to be the guy who got out of that environment, bettered myself to come back and lift everybody up. I went to college. After college, I got a job. I thought that was the dream. Next thing I did was I tried to master that job. Got a few promotions, but my boss, she told me after about 4 or 5 years, and I had been doing really well just jumping through that corporate America plan, she said, Curt, listen, you might want to take a look at something else. I said, I'm like the top person here. What are you talking about, something else? She said, you're too ambitious. We won't be able to afford you pretty soon. Maybe you should look at being an entrepreneur. I was like, entrepreneur? No, I got a good job. Had a good bank job, right? Nice little fancy, well, cheap suit, but it looked fancy, right? And the next thing that happened was I started looking, because your boss tells you, look, you're gonna look, right? So I started looking, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I had a little nonprofit on the side, and I turned my nonprofit party promotion business into a for-profit business. And after that, I wound up opening up my own restaurant and nightclub in Virginia Beach. Literally, life had changed like that. The dream started to come true for me, at least I thought. It was different from my job, and you know how jobs are. But I was making all the money, a $2 million a year business. That's a lot of money. Who here wouldn't mind making $2 million in a year? Oh, all y'all rich, right? Y'all better get this check. But the next thing that happened is where my life began to change. And they simply said to me, look, Curt, they knocked on my door, and they said, at my nightclub, it was called the Ultra Lounge, it was in Virginia Beach. They knocked on the door and said, listen, this is a part of a 15-year project to widen this road, and we're shutting you down in 3 weeks. I just bought out my investors, so all my savings I spent buying them out. I bought them out about 4 weeks prior to. So now all of my money was gone. And now they tell me, so is the club. What am I going to do now is my first thought. So next thing that happened for me, y'all, about a year went by, no income coming in, because I thought I could get another business going. I started to hit this point, and it was a bad point, and some of you have been there. It was called rock bottom. Anybody here ever hit rock bottom? Make some noise if you hit rock bottom before. Yeah. And I slept in my car for a few weeks, probably about a month and a half or so. I took showers in the YMCA because I was too prideful to go back home to my mom and my dad. I didn't want to go back home and say I failed. But sleeping in that car, something hit me and it just said, this can't keep happening. This can't keep going on. This isn't you. So something had to change for me at that point. So I moved back home to my dad's basement in East Baltimore. Whew, tough. My dad had those pets he didn't name. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't a well-kept basement in East Baltimore. But I did some small things, just some small things. I got a regular job. I tried to get back on my feet, and then I got this message. And y'all check this message out. The message said, look, hey, Curt, heard you used to do well when you were in Virginia, but now that you're back in Baltimore, maybe like minds need to connect. I'm like, all right, let me check this out. I clicked the Facebook picture, and it's none other than my 7th grade girlfriend. Her name was Tashina. I used to call her Skinny Tashina with the light eyes, right? She was a bony little thing. But I wanted to see what she had going on, so I checked it out, right? And as I checked it out, I said, wait a minute, she's doing pretty well for herself. And I kept seeing 5 links, 5 links, 5 links. So I said, oh, let me go check this 5 links thing out. But here's what happened next. We started dating instead of actually doing 5 links. Fellas, I got a little sidetracked. Is that all right? She had, you know, grown up since the 7th grade, right? But then she about 4 or 5 months later, we're dating, and she says, she gets me with this line. She says, I want you to come to this convention to hear me speak. I said, okay. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. She sat me down as her guest at the convention. I sat down, she spoke, then out came this gentleman, and it absolutely blew me away. His name was Russell Simmons. When I saw Russell, I said, I'm in. 7 months later, walked away from that job I had to take that I couldn't stand. Matter of fact, my best friend, Raul Edwards, he's here today. He's a senior vice president of the company now, matter of fact. He got me that bum job. Thanks, Raul. But here's the thing. 7 months later, 4 months after that, hit senior vice president. 2 years after that, of course, platinum senior vice president. And now, diamond senior vice president, living the life of our dreams. But something had to happen for me to go from where I was to where I am today. From the person I was then to the person I am now. And I want you guys to understand it's a big thing. As a matter of fact, our team, just this national convention, is promoting 8 senior vice presidents, 1 platinum and 1 double platinum. That's the Icon Group. It's something had to go. Give it up for the Icon Group one time. That breaking point, y'all, for me, it was that time where I was sitting in my car saying, this is where I'm going to sleep tonight. This is it. Honda Accord. This is where I'm going to sleep tonight. Said, it's got to be some way. And I said to myself, never again. I want you to internalize the feeling. If you are not living the life of your dreams right now, I want you to say to yourself, never again. Never again. Never again. But here it was. You have these points, and you have these points in your business, and I had them in my life prior to 5 links, and it brought me to this point where I got that letter from the city of Virginia Beach that told me that they're shutting me down. I said to myself, what am I going to do now? And whether you admit it or not, you are in that state where you have to figure out what your next move will be. And let me blow this up even bigger. 5 links is in that state. Well, we have to come together as a family to figure out what are we going to do now? Because just the status quo, what we always been doing is not going to work anymore. We have to step up. We have to figure a plan out. So guys, I want you to understand how you handle it from this day forward. And I really mean just the next 90 days of your business life will determine what happens for the rest of your life going forward. I hope you're ready. Anybody ready for that best next 90 days they got? But remember, a true champion, because I believe 5 links is a company full of champions. As a matter of fact, I stayed with this company. I will continue to stay with this company and not just stay here, because staying isn't enough. We got to lead this company. The reason why I want to lead this company, because I believe this company is a company of champions. This company was founded by champions. This company is led with the CEO who's a champion, co-founders who are champions. And definitely, champions become diamonds. I made this slide before Tupac hit diamonds, so it would have been Tupac in that picture too, right? There's a lot more room in that picture. I can put a whole lot more people in there. Who's ready to be that next diamond? But the next thing happens is this. The next thing happens is you need that aha moment. And for me, it was the national convention when Tashina invited me out, and I sat here and I listened. And it wasn't just a convention, it was the testimonials. If you notice, I always walk around when you see people getting promoted to Senior Vice President Platinum, because it gets me so emotional. I love it. I love to hear those rag to riches stories of how you guys got from where you are to where you were to where you are now. I love it. But that was the aha moment for me when I heard those stories in 2011, June 2011. Matter of fact, May 2011, I heard those stories. But out comes Russell Simmons. And to me, it was everything. If you don't know the story, Russell Simmons was a party promoter just like me. Turned $550 million business mogul. I said, man, I see myself in that. I see myself in 5 Links. I see myself in this dream. Do you see yourself in the platinums and the diamonds and everybody in the SVPs in this company? Do you see yourself in them? It awakened the greatest version of me. And the one thing I love about 5 Links, why we never waver, because every day I think about this company, I think about getting better and better and better and better at me. But then what happens next? You got to take action. And I'm not talking about signing up. We're past that here. Everybody here, you're in. You're at least a couple of $100s in. Some of y'all have roomed up in a hotel together. Some of y'all got peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at your table right now. You are in. Shout out to the peanut butter and jelly. That's all right. So you got to jump in. But that means that now, from this day forward, you can't go back to just the same old thing. You got to figure out from the successful people, what are they doing? Seize the moment. Get involved with what your platinums and diamonds and those folks are doing. But you got to learn the process. And this is the hardest part, because we want to be uncoachable. We want to do it our way. One thing about me, I had that PhD in common sense. I said, hold up. It looks like in your garage you have a Bentley. I'm going to go ahead and follow what you're doing. And that's good enough for me. And she didn't show me everything. She let me learn it on my own, which was probably the best thing for me. But at least I knew that she had the game plan. Is that okay? Some of you guys are following your own blueprint and wonder why you ain't made it yet. All right? But then you got to fall in love with the process, and this is where it hurts. Oh, it gets painful right here. Because the process sometimes goes beyond the excitement. And beyond the times when we're rah-rah in here and Jeb is breaking promotions off and the fireworks are going off and everybody's running around here going crazy, here's what's going to happen next. It's going to go back home for you. It's going to get quiet. It's going to get dark. There's going to be people who tell you no. The excitement is going to be crushed literally 30 minutes after you leave today. And you're going to think to yourself, wait a minute, this is too hard. But you got to fall in love, because that is part of the process. The process for me meant me driving every Thursday after work to Virginia Beach and then back to Baltimore to build my warm market. I did it for 9 months straight, every single Thursday, back and forth from Virginia Beach to Baltimore, and I came to work the next morning at 8 o'clock. That's 8 hours drive, and come back to work and work for another 8 hours. I was falling in love with the process. And then you get there and you drive 4 hours and you show up to this PBR and there's no guests. And I didn't know, and I called back home. I said to Sheena, I don't think that I'm following the same blueprint as everybody else, because nobody's showing up. She said, keep going. Go again. In another week, in another week, in another week. And eventually people started to show up in the room. I started to fall in love with the process. I made do with what I had, because I didn't find anybody who could bring in 100 reps in one day. I didn't find that person. But I kept going. I kept going. Before you know it, one guy came in the room, he brought in 25 guests. I called Tashina, I said, I think I might found me somebody who could be good. I didn't know his name. He was too shy to even talk. He wouldn't do the presentation. Sooner or later, this guy became my first senior vice president. I was senior vice president, P.J. Pickett. You must fall in love with the process, because if I would have quit before I fell in love with that process, I never would have found that first SVP. But now I know how to break them. Ooh, and I watched when Tupac came out here with 100 million SVPs on stage. I said, it only takes one to get those. You got to keep going. After that, you got it. But you got to fall in love with the process first. See, you want to do it when it's cute. You want to do it when it's fun. But you got to do it when it hurts. And that's how you get to the top. So I'm telling y'all right now, I know a few things, and I've learned a few things. I know you always hear from my wife, but I'm trying to tell you, God put me on this stage for a reason today. And what you have to understand is that this guy right here has been through a process that if you follow this same process, you too will make it to the top. But understand, wealth is in the routine. And those who know me well know I love to work out. Anybody, the other day, people caught me running at the same time as the presentation was going on. I had to get it in, right? I was working out. But I understood one thing. If I do this routine every single day, I will get the body that I'm going after. If you do this routine in filings every single day that you're supposed to follow, if you follow that system, if you stay coachable, if you do the PBRs, if you expose folks, if you keep following up, if you do these things every single day, there's no way you can fail, but you just have to keep going. Is that okay? So check this out. I got a couple mentors, and he talked to me about the process. You might know this guy right here. That's 50 Cent. His name is Curtis too. It's Curtis Jackson, right? And he told me this. He said, most people can't handle the boredom. That means they can't stay on one thing until they get good at it. And they wonder why they're unhappy. And he tells his story actually in person, but he also told it in his book, co-written by Robert Greene, who wrote the 48 Laws of Power. And he said this in his book, and he said this is what helped him, who had average skill but phenomenal will. I said, oh, this is it. This is the way. You just have to stay on course. As a matter of fact, you got to follow one course until successful. And I got to talk to my serial entrepreneurs out here. We got to talk real quick. I understand that you need more than one stream of income to become a millionaire, and you're ready to take 7. I understand that. But if you're out here doing 5 links, and you're selling incense, and you're selling oils, and you're selling DVDs, and you selling clothes, and you selling chicken dinners, and you selling all this stuff, you're starting to realize why, you gotta realize why you're not successful. You need to follow one course until successful. This blueprint has helped many people become millionaires already. You have to trust the process, don't rush the process. But it requires some mental toughness, yes? And I'm gonna get to mental toughness in a minute, but my mentor, another one of my mentors, Darren Hardy, said this business is functionally easy, but emotionally difficult. That's tough. Because you can do it, you can talk to somebody, right? I can invite them out, right? But the problem becomes when they say no. The problem becomes when you're upline and you disagree. The problem becomes when you don't like the way things are going right here. The problem becomes that this business becomes emotionally difficult. So you have to decipher which one are you going to commit to? Commit to the functions of this business, because if you commit to the emotions, you'll be checked out early on. Stay with me. But then you have to align yourself with the right people. Y'all can look close to the screen. The first you see is who? Who y'all see up there? That's Diddy and Jay-Z, right? That's early on in their career, when people only knew them for a couple of things. They didn't know they were business moguls. And that's Diamond Senior Vice President Tupac Court. That's Platinum Senior Vice President Daryl Huckabee. And that's yours truly. They know us for this right now, but you understand that this is going to be the billion-dollar business that breaks us open to becoming multi-billion-dollar moguls. You got to align yourself with the right people. Any chance I get, and the chances are me, Pac, and Huck are always passing each other on the highway. We don't have a lot of time to sit and talk. But when we do talk, it's powerful. And when we do put our minds together, we can move companies. So I want you guys to understand, align yourself with the right people. But let me tell you this story really quick. This business is a marathon. In 2004, my mom called me up and she said, baby, I'm gonna run a marathon. And for those who don't know, my mom is a breast cancer survivor, right? Yeah, give it up for the breast cancer survivors, yeah. And her baby sister actually passed from breast cancer, so she wants to raise money for a cause that's gonna help, of course, breast cancer awareness, right? Breast cancer research. So she's running and she's running every day. She hires a personal trainer. My mom, she does everything the right way, right? She gets a personal trainer, she gets the right outfit, the right shoes, socks, all that good stuff. And she runs, she said, I'm gonna run this marathon, and maybe it's gonna be in about 6 months. I said, okay, Ma, you do your thing, right? And about 4 months later, she updates me, about 2 months later, she updates me, she says, baby, listen, I'm up to 10 miles now. Your mom's doing it. I said, go ahead, Mama. And about 2 months before the race, she said, baby, I ran 20 miles for the first time. I'm in shape. You should look at your mama. I said, go ahead, man, that's all right. And then I watched TV that night, and I see Diddy run the New York City Marathon. I said, man, that's one of my idols. He just ran a marathon. I called my mom. I said, Mom, when is that marathon you running? She says, it's in 7 weeks. I said, Ma, I'm gonna run that marathon with you. 7 weeks, that's nothing. I got this. I'm in shape. I play basketball once a week. I'm on a flag football team. I could run a marathon if my mom can do it. So I get there and I'm starting to practice. I do 7 weeks of practice. I get up to like 10 miles. I say, oh, I'm good. If you can run 10, you can run 26.2, right? And then the next thing is we get there, we start this marathon, and I'm going. I'm way ahead of my mom. I'm like backpedaling. I'm like, Ma, come on, you taking too slow. And she said, nope, this is my pace. This is my pace. And she just chugging along, chugging along. I'm playing around, I'm running circles around, I'm teasing her. And we get to the halfway point of the race. 13 miles in, I'm starting to feel it. I got on leather Nike shoes. I got on socks that didn't even match. I just grabbed them. And I'm thinking to myself, this hurts bad. And as I get to the halfway point, I see the Kenyans wrapping up the interview with the news reporters. I said, damn, they finished and did the interview? So every Kenyan I see running from that point on, I try to do what they're doing. I was like, oh, that's how you do it. Okay, right? I try to follow their pace. I try to run like them. My mom said, no, baby, run your race. Run how you practice this. That's the only way you're gonna finish it. So she kept chugging along, chugging along, chugging along. Mile 17, I watched Diddy on his special. That's when he had that infamous breakdown. And at mile 17 in the Baltimore City Marathon is a big hill, right around my old neighborhood too. And you gotta run this hill to get to the flatland, and then you come back down. I said, oh, let me just get up this hill. And mentally, I remember Diddy breaking down. What happens to my body? It breaks down. My legs are locking up. My back is hurting. I look down, there's blood seeping through my leather Nike shoes. I'm in excruciating pain. Every single step is painful. It's to the point where I'm ready to give up. I'm ready to say, Mama, I tried. Well, go ahead and finish this race. I'll catch a cab back. I said, this is just too much. My mama just chugging along, chugging along, chugging along, but I said, I can't quit. That's my mama. She's 27 years older than me. There's no way I can give up on her, right? And I get to the top of this hill. It's about mile 20, and I'm absolutely done. Some of you guys are absolutely done when it starts to hurt. I was absolutely finished. I said, I'm checking out. At this point, I can't go one more step. I don't care what's happening at the finish line. I don't care what this will do for my life. I don't care what it'll do for cancer research at this point. I don't even care. Forget it. Some of y'all give up the moment somebody gets in your way. You don't care what it'll do for your life. And then this happened. Because they held traffic for so long, the drivers who were waiting to get by the marathon runners got upset. One driver jumps out of his car, starts cursing people out, and he takes off running straight towards my mother. And I'm sitting there saying, I have nothing left. I got nothing left. When I saw him jump out that car and run to my mother, I said, ain't no way nobody's gonna put their hands on my mama. And I darted to him, I grabbed him, and I sat him back down in that car. The reason is because my why was strong enough. When your why is strong enough, you will overcome the pain. You will overcome what it takes to get there. You are going to change people's lives if that why is strong enough. I didn't care about my feet bleeding. I didn't care about my back hurting. I didn't care about any of that. All I wanted to do was take care of the person who took care of me. All I wanted to do was do the right thing. If that's what you want in the back of the room, that's how you got to get there. You got to put that why that's real strong, and you'll get to anything that you want to accomplish in life. And boy, the race is real easy after that. Boy, I'm like, I'm chilling. Anybody else want some of this? All right, I'm good to go. But guys, I want you to understand is at that point, I mastered a breaking point. Everything in my life, I always equated back. You got to that marathon, didn't you? 7 weeks of training. You could do that, you could do this. And it creates a swagger about you where you feel like you're invincible, you can do anything. Sometimes that is what helps you get through what you need to get through in this business. You just gotta have that confidence, I don't care. Tupac can do it, so can I. If Rosa can do it, yep, so can I. Yep, if Lee can do it, yep, so can I. And that's what you have to master that breaking point. But the biggest thing you have to have is faith. See, you might see these videos, you might see all the lifestyle videos, but they can't put faith in that video. They can't show the faith that we have to get to where we want to be in life. They don't show these things. So I want you guys to understand that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Guys, I want you to understand this is what keeps people from quitting. When they read my promotion speech, there's a question that says, did you ever think about quitting 5 links? Hell no. How could I quit on this when I got all the faith in the world that I'm going to win? I want you to get that internalized in your brain that you are going to win this deal. And it gives you that ultimate confidence when you have that faith. But it's not just faith in yourself. I got faith in God. I got faith in God. He never let me down. So I know if he's going to do it, I'm good. But then I have faith in this industry. Listen, $182 billion, I'm good. I'm in the right deal. But then I have faith in 5 links. That's what some of y'all check out. The grass gets greener when you leave out of here. And they just heard you came back from getting all this education. Now they want you on their team. And they stroke your little check to say, come on over. Nah, I'm good. I'm right here. I got faith in this company. And here's the difference between them and you. And here's what you got to do. Understand is that they can make an offer to take you anywhere else. But you are the person who's going to lead this company to the top. Be the difference maker in the deal. But for me, everything was built around faith in my team. I had faith that if I led them the right way, and if I was led the right way, we will reach our goal. Those are the things that you have to have faith for and have faith in to get that ultimate confidence. But right now, guys, and I'm about to wrap up, honestly, I want you to understand that the time is now for you. The time is absolutely right now. As a company, what we need to do is we need to get to work. I was talking to Jeb backstage, said we got to get the job done. We got to go to work. We have been through so many hurdles and so many obstacles, but we almost forgot the fact that we are in year 15, and year 15 in network marketing is the year of momentum. Y'all don't hear me yet. This is the year when we start that trend to go from 100 million to 100 billion. And if that meant that I'm going to be in this equation to go from 100 million to 100 billion, wait a minute, my check is going to go up too. I ain't talking about the Powerball. I'm talking about this team right here is going to take us to $1 billion, $100 billion. But we got to get up, we got to go, we got to get to work right now. Because all the stories you hear today, if you check out the moment you leave here, if everything just goes out of your head the moment you leave here, you have learned nothing today, nothing at all. So we have to get to work. We have to take this thing to the top. This group who committed to come to this convention, we are the people who are going to take 5 links to $100 billion. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a great day. The time is now to get excited again. Get excited again. Listen, we got too cool. We got these fancy suits on. We sitting down. We judging everybody in here. The time is now to get pumped up one more time. Somebody came up to me yesterday and said, Mr. Anderson, I just want to shake your hand. Do you know how that made me feel? I said, oh my gosh, this person gets it. I wanted to shake these people's hands too. I wanted to be that person too, but we got too cool. We can afford a little Gucci belt now, right? We can afford a little designer purse now, right? We can afford those little things, and you feel like you can live that lifestyle, so I ain't got to work that hard. The work ethic is dead. Everybody's sitting there and saying, oh, I can do this. I can figure this thing out on the internet. The business hasn't changed. You have to get to work. You have to get uncool to go ahead and get paid for your family. The time is now to start exposing this deal. What's going to change us is how many times we expose it from now till St. Louis. How many times we expose this deal. We got to get up and we got to start doing our own PBRs. I was talking to Steve and Lucille Merritt, Platinum Senior Vice President, and they talk about how many people and how the habit is we start to do PBRs for other people. And we got IMRs coming to this deal, and they don't even do their own PBRs anymore. The time is now. That's got to stop. We got to make sure people come in this deal, and they learn how to do their own PBRs. The time is now. We got to stop some of the mess, too, because we all done it. And I say all. We got to get some real customers in here. We got all these companies and all these people coming to do business with 5 Links, and the only thing we keep doing is just buying it ourselves. Finding a darn prepaid card to put some products on. Listen, we got to get out here and get these products out to the masses. We have a great opportunity. We got to share it. Let's get these real customers, and we got to eliminate excuses. If you come to me and say, Curt, I want you to mentor me, the first time you give me an excuse, I'm checking out. I ain't got time for it. I got thousands of people who want it bad for themselves, and I got to give it to the people who only want success, not excuses. The time is now to master that breaking point. The time is now to get focused. The time is now to take action. The time is now to have faith. But I want everybody here to stand up on their feet one good time. In the back, can you hear me in the back? Wave your hands in the back if you can see me. I'm talking about the back row. You by the bathroom. You can smell what it smells like in the bathroom. That's you in the back, right? Way back there in the back. It's not even, the lights ain't even on back there. Can you see me back there? Everybody, can y'all hear me good? If you are ready to be the next Diamond Senior Vice President, on the count of 3, I want you to say, the time is now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Jump when you say it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 5 Links family, I love y'all. I'm Diamond Senior Vice President Curt Anderson. I'm going to see you at the top.